What's up, everyone? We're here with the BT9 X record pre-release tournament video. We're going to be rating all the cards that you can draft at your pre-release tournament on a scale of 1 to 4, 1 being doo-doo better, and 4 being if you pull this card, you should definitely put it in your deck. And joining me today is a friend of the show, as always, MBB TCG, aka The Bryce, aka Miller Booker B. What's going on, my guy?
It's going good. Just here vibing.
Hell yeah, dude. You stoked for BT9?
I'm okay with BT9. I'll play it.
Alright, fair enough. You're more of a BT8 kind of guy, huh?
I've been enjoying this format a lot.
Yeah, Magdamon. Yeah, everyone's been loving BT8 EX too. But nevertheless, we move on. So
yeah, we move on.
Let's go ahead and get started. We'll talk
I'm
about the eggs.
excited for some innovations that people come up with.
Yes, absolutely. So let's talk about the eggs first. So for the most part in pre-release tournaments, the eggs don't really matter just because you kind of just play whatever you pull. Like, it's very rare you pull more than 5. So there's never really a decision for you to make. You just play all the ones you pull. But we'll go over the ones that are good and which ones are kind of meh. So we'll start off with Koromon, which is if you have Agumon or Greymon in your name, you get plus 1000 DP. I think this is almost never going to come up. What do you think?
It's okay. There's some Agumons, but it's whatever.
I'm going to give this one a 1. All right.
They're eggs. Every egg is at least a 3 technically, but we'll give it more 1s.
All right, I agree with you, actually. Fair enough. Puyoyomon. When an effect adds a card to your hand, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP for the turn. So there's, like, this counts drawing cards as well. So there's
but not by Digivolving.
Not by Digivolving, but there are cards that, like, can add cards to your hand. Even so, I think I'd say it's a little bit better than Koromon just by virtue of it being a little more generic.
Okay.
All right, so maybe we'll give Koromon a 2.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it. We're all playing all the eggs anyway.
Yeah. Pogumon X antibody. Once per turn, when a card is added to your security stack, one of your opponent's Digimon get minus 1000 DP for the turn. This is obviously very reliant on whether or not you have healing, but this is actually an X antibody trait as an egg, which, you know, that could be useful.
That could be very useful. There's a lot of things that require X antibody. So.
All right. So this is definitely a 3, maybe even a 4. Motimon. Your turn, when this Digimon has Insectoid in its traits, gets plus 1000 DP. There's a lot of Insectoid green type cards in this set. If you are like heavy drafted into green, then Motimon will probably come up, but otherwise, like, it's not a generic card at all.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, so we'll put this on the same level as Koromon. Goromon, opponent's turn. While this Digimon has blocker, it gains plus 1000 DP on the opponent's turn.
Are there blockers in this set?
Dextoru Gora?
Yeah, it needs to digivolve over your Dorugamon, and I don't know if there's a Dorugamon that's in this set. That's only in the other set.
Okay,
so.
Fair enough. So conditional on having blockers, so we'll give it a 2.
I would say probably the worst one's like never gonna trigger unless there's another blocker I'm not thinking of.
All right.
Well, I guess Metal Garurumon X can have blocker. But.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. And last egg of the set is Pogumon. When attacking by trashing 1 card from your hand, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP for this turn. This is the most generic one. You do have to trash a card in your hand, but if you need the extra 1000 DP to like run over something that your opponent has suspended, then hey, it's a 1-for-1 trade at that point, and that's pretty good.
Yeah. You draw a lot of Digimon, so that's not a big deal.
Yep. So Pogumon, definitely I'd say Pogumon and Tokomon X are probably the best ones. Tokomon X, if only because it's X antibody trait. All right, so Pog is a 3. All right, moving on to red cards. We have Mini Dekachimon, just a 2-cost vanilla. These are always good in sealed format.
Are good in sealed format.
Automatically this gets a 4. You want to play probably as many of these as you pull. Agumon X, on play, reveal top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 X antibody, the option card, and 1 card with Greymon or Omnimon in its name among them to your hand. Remaining cards go to the bottom. So there's no Omnimons in this set, and I think the only Greymon is Gramon X, so this actually can't target it, right?
No, it's Greymon.
With Greymon or Omnimon. Oh, in its name. Okay, you're right.
In its name. So yeah, I can add both the Greymons.
Okay, true.
So if you get Greymons, it's good. Unfortunately, for a lot of the X antibody cards in this set, they don't have their regular forms in this set. So there's a lot of the X antibody effects are pretty lackluster in the sealed format. A lot of vanilla effects. Yep. But we gotta rate out what's just the best raw effect without X antibody.
Yeah. So you still get the on play at the very least. So that can definitely come up.
On play search seems solid.
This card is, I don't know, if you draft some Greymons and Metal Greymons, War Gramon X is in the set too, right? So, all right. So if you draft into those, then this probably gets a 3. I feel like all searchers are usually a 3 if you draft into them. Yeah. All right. So that's the Altar. Gatomon X. When Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3,000 DP or less. You will never get this effect off because regular Gatomon is not in this set.
Yep, and it's 4 to play. This is a very bad.
Yeah, so this is gonna be a 1.
It's a rookie. You might play it, but it's a 1.
Yeah,
choose other rookies.
So the Inheritable does give an extra 1,000 DP to DP deletion based effects, and I think there's like some Gatomon options that delete. Like I think there's like a better Atomic Blaster in this set. I think we'll get to there, but for now we'll leave it at a 1. Card is very conditional. Okay, moving on to level 4 reds. Tama Dekachimon.
Red 8-mon? Not 8K though?
Not 8K though, yeah.
Pretty good in this kind of format though.
7K vanilla beater, yeah. Always pretty solid. This is probably a 3.
If it was 8.
Yeah, if it was 8, it would be a 4 for sure. That's 8-mon tier. And Amon godlike and sealed. Alright, Gramon X, inheritable, add 1,000 to the maximum DP. You can choose with DP-based deletion effects. Again, this is very reliant on you drafting heavy into like Gatomon option stuff. So, I don't know. What do you think?
Maybe we change our mind when we get to the options.
Yeah,
I have not looked too much into the set.
Alright,
so far I'm like...
We'll leave Gramon X at a 1, and then we'll move forward from there. Okay, let's talk about Gramon X. So Digivolve 0 from Greymon, that will come up, and then the inheritable alterns. If an effect would delete this Digimon with Greymon or Omegamon in its name or return it to its owner's hand or deck, you may prevent it from leaving play by discarding 2 cards with the same level in this card's Digivolution cards. Again, I don't think that effect comes up.
Yep, it's a 1. We don't get a lot of those effects in the set, so if it doesn't have a Digivolve effect, it doesn't get that inheritable.
Yeah, so I believe there isn't actually a way to X Digivolve same level within the set itself, because like the Digimon and like its original counterpart, so the X and the original don't exist in the set, so you can't actually put 2 Digimon at the same level on top of each other.
A lot of vanilla is going to happen in this set.
Yeah, so this is pretty much just a 6K vanilla, which gets outclassed by a Tama Dekachimon. So
7K vanilla.
Yup. All right, moving on to level 5s. Omnishoutmon X. So when Digivolving Blitz, 8K DP, 3 Digivolve, not bad. And then your turn, while this Digimon has Omnishoutmon or X Antibody, the option card in its sources, this Digimon can also attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. So actually, before we started the video live in the chat, so we are streaming this live on twitch.tv if you're watching it on YouTube, we were talking about Marsmon from BT8, which also had the effect where it can attack unsuspended Digimon, which was cracked in pre-release. So I think if you get this card with X Antibody underneath it, this is definitely a bomb card.
If you get the option, this is pretty strong. I think the option's common, so it's very likely you might be able to put those 2 together.
Yeah, so because
this is a rare, so you have to pull this one.
Yeah, but because it's an uncommon, but because it is like a card that requires another card, I don't think it's a 4. Yeah, it's not a standalone card, so I think this is like a 3, but it's a very powerful 3, I think.
It also has Blitz, which is really nice as well.
That's also true. So, okay, well...
It gets Blitz without the other effect.
Okay, so Blitz is already pretty good in and of itself, and then plus the other effect, I think maybe this... we could justify 4 on this one, I think.
Yeah. I don't think the power level of the pre-release is going to be that high this set, just because of so many conditional effects. Alright, and then let's go to War Gramon X Antibody. So, when Digivolving, until the next time your opponent's turn ends, 2 of your opponent's Digimon gain. On deletion, lose 1 memory. Then, if this Digimon has War Gramon or X Antibody in its Digivolution cards, choose any number of your opponent's Digimon whose total DP adds up to 6,000 or less and delete them. So, I think just the straight up when Digivolving effects. So let's talk about that first. 2 of your opponent's Digimon gain on deletion, lose 1 memory. It's good if you can do some kind of combat tricks without passing turn, and also dissuades people from wanting to attack that much. Although it's not like a lot of memory loss, so it's solid. It's definitely like a 2 or a 3 in my opinion.
Yeah, and then so if you do happen to get the X antibody, you pretty much get like an atomic blaster, which obviously combos with the regular on Digivolve effect. So you could, in theory, if you have X antibody in your traits, delete like 2 cards, right? Gain the 2 memory back. So this is a 1 to Digivolve. But I think this is worse than the Gatomon X, or what was the other one?
Shaman
X. Yeah. So I think this is a 3, right?
Yeah, it's solid if we can get it off. But it's like hard, like I said, hard to get stuff off in this set.
Yeah, and it's still an AKDP beater, even if you like get no effects off. Like that's
a lot of big
solid.
beaters, at least at level 5 in this set. A lot of them are that 8K threshold, which is among the higher end.
Most definitely. All right, moving on to Metal Gray X. So when Digivolving, Digimon gains security attack +1, 8,000 DP. So already 8,000 DP, security attack +1. I think that's pretty strong. And then if you have Metal Greymon or X antibody option in your sources, you get +2,000 DP. So it becomes 11,000 2 checks if you have X antibody in your traits.
That would be really good. They're kind of on the tier with Shaman. Very strong if we pull it off.
I agree. That's a 4. Pretty cut and dry. All right, moving on to the red level 6s. War Gramon X. So all turns, when a card is removed from your opponent's security stack, you gain 1 memory. So pretty much just for... Oh, and it's not once per turn, actually.
No, it is not once per turn.
Okay, so if you're going wide and you just start swanging and banging, you're gaining back a lot of memory if this card's on your board. And then end of attack once per turn. If this Digimon has War Greymon or X antibody option in its Digivolution sources, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with DP less than or equal to this Digimon's DP 12,000. So delete a 12,000 DP Digimon at the end of your attack. I think this is a bomb card.
It is a bomb card, but it's really hard to trigger. It's like 4 to Digivolve. We don't have the ways to reduce its Digivolve cost. We don't have ways to gain security attack easily. So it kind of is a little bit more situational than it looks, but if it does work, it feels amazing.
Yeah. So I think... You think this is a 4, Bryce? I think this is a 4.
I think it's a 3 just because it's harder to trigger. It's kind of hard to trigger to get like anything but a vanilla effect.
All right.
But if you... Just because you need the option, you need the... not die after you pass turn. Although it's easier for it to live in pre-release format.
Fair enough. So. All right. Let me make some little adjustments here just so we can see more of the
ratings.
Yeah. Okay, that works. All right. Moving on. Gatomon X. Yes. Okay, so when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest DP. If you do not delete a Digimon with this effect, unsuspend this Digimon. Okay, so this combos with the X antibody option effect, which is when attacking, you can Digivolve into an X antibody, but I digress with that one. And then your turn, once per turn, when your opponent's Digimon is deleted, if this Digimon has Gatomon or X antibody in its Digivolution cards, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack, which is, synergistic with the rest of the Gatomon line. What do you think about this card, Bryce?
I think this is a 4. This is unconditional removal. And it's hard to get removal in the pre-release.
I agree.
You just Digivolve, remove something. They get to block it with a rookie, right? But still, it's removal every single time you play it.
Yep. So I mean,
it is an SR, so obviously these are SRs. They're gonna be harder to pull, but
yes,
play it if you pull it.
I mean, I've played against pre-release decks that got like 4 SRs, and it's ridiculous. If you're that guy, then congrats, dude. Enjoy your prize. But yeah, this card specifically, I want to point out that the delete one of your opponent's Digimon with lowest DP. If your opponent only has 1 Digimon out, it could be a level 7, like it can be Dexmon, and if that's their only card, Gatomon is gonna kill it. So that's pretty nuts. I think that's a really strong effect. So this is for sure a 4. And then moving on to Dino Rexman. When Digivolving, for each of your opponent's Tamers, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon and gain 1 memory. All turns, when your opponent's Digimon with DP 6,000 or less is suspended, you may delete that Digimon. This is a red-green card, 13,000 DP, 5 to Digivolve. It is a rare, though, so it's a rare level 6, so you
How
might
many
see
Tamers
this one.
are in this set? Because that's a pretty good effect for pre-release.
I think there's actually I know Cool Boy for sure. Hold on, let's and then there's a bunch of dual Tamers as well. Yeah, so yeah, 1, 2, the blue, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 9 Tamers in the set. Yeah.
So that actually might be a really good pre-release card.
Yeah, actually.
If you don't pass turn, you gain the memory back when you suspend their guys. It means you can just swing over it with its 13k. This is actually a pretty pre-release monster, I think. It's not going to be a card in like constructed, but
yeah. And it
seems kind of nasty.
Dual color helps you get off options too, so
yeah,
because that's options are still limited to color.
And also last set they started adding Tamers that are not rares, so it's easier to get Tamers as well. So if it's easier for your opponents to get Tamers, it's much easier for this card as you play. That said, they do need Tamers, so it might have that drawback.
Yeah, and then the all turns effect. So I assume attacking is also being suspended. So this basically means your opponent can't attack with 6,000 DP or less Digimon, right?
Or they have to attack twice because it's. Oh,
it's once per turn. It's once per turn. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
this is a 4.
I think it's a 4 for pre-release.
Especially because it's a rare. Like you're much more likely to see this. Yeah. All right. Cool. So that ends all the red cards. Moving on to blue, we have another 2-cost vanilla 4.
4 vanilla. Also, it's a crap. Awesome vanilla.
Hey, true. All right.
Doesn't outclass the pencil, but
yeah, pencil's still the most godlike. All right, moving on. Gabu X. This is basically Agu X, but for Gabus, it's a 3.
Yep. Yeah, same as Agu. Yeah. If you pull out Agumon, it's good to play.
All right, Jellymon. When you play a blue Tamer, draw 1, and then inheritable. When an effect adds a card to your hand, return one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon to its owner's hand. I don't know about this inheritable, how often you're going to be adding cards to your hand. I guess drawing by an effect counts, not by Digivolving, but by an effect. And if you play a blue Tamer, I think there was 2 or 3 blue Tamers. Let's see, there's 1, 2, there's 3 blue Tamers. So.
And I think it depends on. Wait, I'll just go back to the Tamer. Are the Tamers rare or are they uncommon or common? I think that actually matters a lot.
Yeah, I assume the dual Tamers are rares. Yeah, that's a rare. That's a rare, but this one might be an uncommon. It's also rare. So all 3 are rares.
Yeah, so it's less likely you're gonna get that. I'll give it a 2.
2? I think I'm inclined to agree. It's not useless, but there's situations where it could come up for sure. Alright, so Jellymon is a big fat 2. Moving on to Abidramon. Play cost 3. 2 to Digivolve, 5,000 DP, level 4.
Play cost 3 level 4s are kind of decent.
Yes.
That means we get to our level 5s faster, and that can be pretty strong. So.
Yes, and especially since I know, speaking from experience, sometimes I like draft like my packs. They only give me like 10 level 3s. And that can make it really awkward to like curve out, which is pretty important in pre-release. So just having a level 4 that you can slam for 3 memory can actually be pretty useful. So I actually think this card might be at least a 3.
I think a 3 is solid.
Yeah.
Definitely a good card to consider for sure.
Kaus Gamamon. Digivolve 2 from Gamamon. There's no Gamamon in this set, so that'll never come up. And your turn, this Digimon can't be blocked. 6,000 DP, Digivolves for 2 over blue. I don't know, are there any blockers in the set? I think
Gramon X is like the only blocker I can think of.
Okay.
And I don't even know if it has blocker all the time, so I'm not...
This card's probably a 2.
We'll say 2, and then if there's no blockers, it's a 1.
Garu X, pretty much just a 6,000 DP vanilla.
Yeah, there's 1. But what's its inheritable is?
It's
the double, yeah.
Yeah, you need doubles. You can never get it off. Yeah. All right. Tesla Jellymon. End of attack once per turn. You may trash 2 cards in your hand to unsuspend this Digimon.
Situationally pretty good. It's sometimes hard to close out in pre-release. Sometimes people have weird DP values.
Yeah. So 6,000 DP. If you're just swanging into security trying to get 2 checks, that could be risky, but like
it's not as risky because it's at the end of the attack, so we don't have to commit before
that's true
the check is done.
That's true. And there's always like the situation where you can like run over something that's like 5,000 DP or less and then trigger this and then attack security if that gives you value, or even just kill 2 things outright that your opponent has suspended. So I think this card's maybe it's like a high 2, low 3, I would say.
I'd give it a 3.
3?
I think it's also especially good on that last check.
Yeah.
If you get the last check and it lives, you win the game.
Fair enough. Yeah. All right. Moving on to level 5s. Piranhamon has Rush. So play cost 6 for Rush. I don't know about that one. But other than that, it's a 3 Digivolve, 7,000 DP vanilla.
Meh.
This is a 2.
Hard to I'd give it a 1. I think
You give it a 1?
Doesn't do anything. The rush is never going to come up, I don't think. So otherwise, it's a 7k vanilla.
Yeah.
I guess 6 to play, level 5 is okay, but I don't know. So yeah, maybe it's the 6 to play, it gives it a 2.
I mean, it could come up. Maybe your opponent's like fucking stuck and they pass you 10 memory. You just like, blah, Rush.
Okay.
At least.
Yeah. We'll put it 2. Not worthless.
All right. Yeah. Divermon. Level 5, 2 Digivolve, 8,000 DP vanilla. 2 Digivolve for level 5. I think that's always pretty decent.
That's okay. Yeah. Especially when the format's weaker.
Yeah. I'll give this a 2. Garu X. When Digivolving, unsuspend this Digimon. Then if this Digimon has Garu or X antibody option in its Digivolution cards, return one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon to their hand. I think this is probably a 3 in my opinion.
Yeah, unsuspend freely is nice as long as your other thing lives.
Yep. So I mean, if you have like a strong level 4, like I don't know,
like the vanilla that's 7k.
Yeah, it swings, it lives. You go into Garu X, unsuspend. If you have 3 memory, you just attack again, or you
protect your guy.
And if you have the X antibody option, then you bounce level 4. I think it's really strong.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So it's a 3. Then we have Raijin Mon. So okay, so either from hand. I think this is the first effect that we can activate from the hand.
Right, yeah, so has a Justimon type nonsense.
If you have a Digimon with Justimon or Raijin Mon in its name, you may pay 1 memory to place this card at the bottom Digivolution card of one of those Digimon, and then when Digivolving, you may trash 1 card with Machine or Cyborg in its traits from your hand to return 1 of your opponent's level 4 lower Digimon to the bottom of its owner's deck. Inheritable when attacking, return 1 of your opponent's level 4 lower Digimon to its owner's hand. Is Justimon even in this set? No, right?
Justimon's not, but all the other pieces are.
Okay.
So
is this like the Gate Guardians from Yu-Gi-Oh, dude?
Something like that. It's like there's like 3 of them. They can like combine together to make powerful inheritables. It depends on how many machines or cyborgs there are, I guess, to get these other effects off. Because their effects are like removal and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so let's just look at its raw stats. So 3 to Digivolve, 11,000 DP. Okay, if you're running this as your level 6, it's because you drafted nothing else, I think.
Or you drafted all of the other pieces. I think.
I guess. I mean, they're uncommons. Like you're gonna have 1 of each in your deck. Like, is that really a strategy?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think this is a 1, dude.
All right, we'll give it a 1. The bouncing level 4 is if there's a lot of machines, but I don't know if there's a lot of machines.
All right. Okay. Well, it's a 1. All right. Moving on. Metal Piranhamon, 3 to Digivolve, 11,000 DP. When attacking, you may play a Digimon card with Piranhamon in its name from this Digimon's Digivolution cards without paying its memory cost. So it has like a pseudo Kaisernail / BT1 Metal Garu effect.
It does 2 checks. If it has the Piranhamon, it makes the Piranhamon a better card.
That's true. The guy who has Rush. Okay, so maybe the 2 is justified. Let's see. This is a common. And this is a common, mate.
Yeah. So I think this is a 3 and the Piranhamon's a 2. I think that kind of balances out. They work together. Yeah.
On its own, it's a 2, but if you draft the Piranhamons, then it can go up to a 3, I think. All right, so it's somewhere in between there. All right.
They kind of collectively go together.
Yeah. Metal Garu X. Okay, so I'm going to give this card a 4 just straight off the bat. But we'll read it. So when Digivolving, unsuspend this Digimon. If then this Digimon gains blockers. So this is like the only blocker we've seen so far in the set.
And it's large.
And it's 12,000 DP. And then your turn, when this Digimon becomes unsuspended, if this Digimon has Metal Garu or X antibody in its Digivolution cards, return all of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level to their owner's hands. Does this count during the unsuspend phase? So let's say
yes.
Broken.
That's one of the things that makes this card strong. You need the source. So
that's true.
It's a
All
4 with the X antibody.
All right.
Like a lot of the X antibody cards.
Most definitely. All right. This card's a bomb.
But it also has a pretty good regular Digimon effect in being unsuspend game blocker.
Yeah. Is that a one-turn blocker? You know, Magdamon is good for that reason.
Magdamon is a very good card.
All
I mean, Magdamon's always a blocker, but
True.
it just becomes a big blocker for one.
Yeah. All right. So that's all the blue cards. Moving on to yellow. Yet another 2-cost vanilla. So
A lot of vanillas this set.
Yeah.
Could be pretty aggressive format.
Getting
It could be a
some-
Rookie Rush deck.
You could, yeah, actually. If you draft a lot of 2-cost
vanilla.
vanillas, you can just
Yeah.
rush. Pillowmon. Players can't play Digimon by effects. As a floodgate, I don't know about this card in sealed, but
Yeah.
this could come up in, constructed.
Stops the Piranhamon rush.
So it's still just a 3 play cost, 2000 DP. It's probably a 2.
It's okay. 2 is fine.
Salamon X. It's gonna be a vanilla, so play cost 3000 DP. It's a 2.
Yeah. Oh well, it's the same as the other ones, honestly.
Yeah.
Let me put the other ones at like 1s.
I don't remember.
Like the Gil. Oh, the Gaioman costs 4. He costs 3. So
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah, this is a 2 at least. Okay.
Yeah, 2.
Starmon. All right. Play cost 4, 6000 DP. 2 to Digivolve. It's a 2.
It's a 2. 4 play cards are pretty solid. They're
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, buffs your Meteor Shower deck. Moving on. Gatomon X, inheritable. If you have 3 or more security cards, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 DP for the turn. Fairly generic.
Removing rookies.
Removes
Fairly
rookies. Yeah, I think
3.
3. Yeah, I agree. 4
And
play
it has
cost.
that 4. Yeah. That inheritable puts it right above the Starmon.
Mm-hmm. Okay, moving on to the armors that are in the set. Nefertaemon, Armor Purge.
Yellow armors.
And then when attacking, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 DP for the turn. I think this card is pretty decent.
Yeah, and there's a Gatomon in this set.
That's true.
We just
Name
went over it,
contains
yeah.
Gatomon. Yeah, okay. All right, so I think this is a 3, probably.
Oh, what's the other? Sorry, what's the other effect?
So Armor Purge, and then when attacking, minus 2000 DP.
Okay, yeah, I think it's a 3. Especially if you get both of this with the Gatomon, it could maybe be a 4. The armor is really good in pre-release. We've just figured this out last time.
Yes, sir. All right. Pegasusmon, Armor Purge, and then when Digivolving, Security Attack minus 1. Strictly worse than Nefertaemon, I think.
It is strictly worse. I give it a 2, but stunning something for minus 2 1 check is kind of nice.
Yeah,
But
it is.
there's no way to reduce the cost.
It
though.
is 3 to Digivolve. Yeah, that's the tough part. 3 to
The other
Digivolve
one-
level 4.
The other one is just it's a 3 Digivolve over 4, or it's Digivolve over Gatomon for 0.
Yep. All right. Dark Superstarmon, Yellow Black, 9000 DP level 5 for 3 Digivolve cost.
It's our biggest level 5, and that's all it does. 2
2?
could be
It's a dual color card.
could be a 3 depending on how good our options are.
It's a dual color card. I think dual color cards always get a little bit of a buff from me just because they let you turn on some options.
Yeah, options are hard to use in this format sometimes.
All right, we'll give him a 3. I think that's a 3. Okay, Gramon X, 8000 DP, 3 Digivolve. When Digivolving, until the end of your opponent's turn, one of your opponent's Digimon gains Security Attack minus 1. Okay, and then if you have Gramon or X Antibody option in your sources, and you have 5 or fewer security cards, recovery plus 1.
Pretty solid. Stun something and can heal if you have the X antibody card.
For 3 to
Healing
Digivolve.
is a broken mechanic in Digimon in general. So.
And in sealed too, so this is probably a 3.
Is it as good as our other ones that we put?
So let's see. Let's compare it to Where Garu X, I guess. So Where Garu X, I think is probably
Burger X and Shaman X, I
and
think.
Shaman X. Yeah,
Shaman X we rated the highest.
Shaman X we definitely gave a 4. I think just yeah.
Yeah, Shaman X is better. So yeah, I think 3 is fine.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on to Ryze Greymon X, you may play 1 red or yellow Tamer from your hand without playing its memory cost, and you still get the effect if it has an on-play effect. Then, if this Digimon has Ryze Grey or X antibody option in its sources, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 DP for each of your red or yellow Tamers for the turn. I don't think you're going to have more than 1 or 2, so this is like a minus 4000 at the most, in my opinion. And then your turn, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP for each Tamer you have in play, Tamer being generic in this sense.
4 is very expensive.
Yeah, the 4 Digivolve
But
makes it tough to swallow.
If you have a Tamer, it's really good.
All right, I think this is the most conditional of all these X level 5 so far. Maybe this is a 2.
It's a 2. If you have enough Tamers, it bumps to like a 3.
Yeah. Okay. I think I agree with that. Okay, moving on to Raijin Mon. So again, from hand.
The other piece.
Yeah, so from hand on your turn, if you have a Digimon with Justimon or Raidinmon in its name, put this card at the bottom of one of those Digimon sources by paying 1 cost. And then when Digivolving, trash 1 card with Machine or Cyborg in its traits from your hand. When your opponent's Digimon gets minus 4,000 DP for the turn. Okay. And then inheritable when attacking, when your opponent's Digimon gets minus 4,000 DP for the turn. I think this is better than the other one.
It's better than the other one, but it's hard to get the inherited effect without the other one.
I agree, but at least when Digivolving, you could kill off a rookie. Or even or maybe some level 4s.
Some level 4s, but you remember recently the machines are cyborgs. I don't know if there's a lot.
Okay,
I know they're machines and cyborgs, but I don't know about our other guys.
It's a 1.
Yeah.
Alright. Moving on.
Magdamon.
Magdamon X. Alright, so when Digivolving, if this Digimon has Magdamon or X antibody option in its sources, for each card in your security stack, all of your opponent's Digimon and security Digimon get minus 1,000 DP until the end of the turn. And end of attack, once per turn, you may add the top card of your security stack to your hand to unsuspend this Digimon. So it can attack twice at the cost of 1 of your security, and it can delete things by minus DP, and it's 12,000 DP pseudo bigger because it reduces the DP of your opponent's security Digimon.
Good versus Rookie Rush boards, otherwise it's okay.
Yeah, 4 play cost on its own, doesn't gain memory on its own. 12,000 DP, a little tough to swallow.
Yeah, the 4 Digivolve has definitely been a hampering factor of all the cards.
Yeah, it's a 2.
It's a 2. If you put it in the side and just slide up into playing Rookie Rush, though, it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Next card's a 4. It's a 5, actually.
Magdamon X. All right, so opponent's turn. When your opponent's Digimon attacks, if this Digimon has X antibody or a card with armor form in its traits, so notably we have Nefertaemon and Pegasusmon, which can give armor form in your traits, you may change the attack target to this card. Okay, so you basically force your opponent to attack into this 11,000.
It's infinite blocker.
True. Not once per turn.
If you have that trait, it's infinite blocker.
True. And then all turns, when this Digimon would be deleted, you may place the top card of this Digimon, so the Magna X itself, on top of your security stack face down. So essentially, you heal. If this card gets deleted, you heal 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this card is
it's good if it dies. If you have the X antibody card, they literally can't kill you with anything small.
Yeah, X antibody or armor form. So yeah, this is for sure. You're right. If we could get 5, we could get 5, but we can't, so we're getting 4. This card's nuts.
This is one of the better ones. This is SR, but if you pull it, you play it.
100%. All right, so
as long as you have the X antibody or some amount of armor.
Yep.
But you can look at your armor cards like, oh, I need to play this card now.
Yep. All right, moving on from yellow to green, we have a Lekman. So this is a 3-cost vanilla, 4,000 DP, though. I think it's still worse than the 2-cost ones.
Yeah, it's meh. I'd give it a 1.
Give it a 1?
Really?
Give it at least a
3. I
three.
guess 4K is okay.
Okay, maybe a 2. We'll split the difference. We'll call it a 2.
Okay.
Gramon X, on play or when Digivolving. Again, you will never get the when Digivolving. So on play, reveal top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon with Insectoid or Machine. Okay, maybe it's our Raijin Mon support. And 1 X antibody option card among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. I think this is worse than Agu and Gabu X.
I think it's better. I think there's more targets.
More targets.
I
Machine or Insect?
I think insects are a lot of the green cards. I think black tends to have lots of machines in it. I don't know exactly in this set, but I think it might have more targets, so it might be better.
Actually, I think you're right.
Just because there's more targets.
So we gave the other ones a 3. This one's slightly better, but I still don't think it's a 4.
Yeah, I think it's still a 3,
It's still
but
a 3.
I think it's the best of the searchers.
All right, fair enough. Pogumon, Floodgate. Players can't play Digimon by effects. Again, the same Floodgate. It's 2.
I don't know if there's anything that's triggered, but it's okay. Vanilla.
All right. Ninjamon. Play cost 4, 6,000 DP. Vanilla level 4. That's not the worst. 2 to Digivolve. It's a 2. I agree. Nothing else to say. Kuwagamon X. So 5 play cost, 2 Digivolve, 6,000 DP. Inheritable. If you have insect in your traits, you get piercing.
Generic piercing is okay. I think it's a 2. But piercing could also be really good depending on.
It depends on your top end. If you top end a lot of insects, then this card gains value. But otherwise, I agree it's a 2. All right, moving on to Leo X. When this Digimon would be deleted in battle, you may play 1 Leomon from its Digivolution cards without paying its memory cost.
No Leomons.
Yep, agreed. Moving on.
There's another Leomon.
Oh yeah, the
There's a level 5 Leomon. We can go over this one first.
Gramon X. Let's see. When Digivolving, if you have a Pogumon or X antibody option in your sources, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Then, if this Digimon is attacking, you may switch the target of the attack to one of your opponent's suspended Digimon. And then, your turn, when this Digimon would Digivolve into an Insectoid in its traits, reduce the cost by 1. I think this is a 3.
It's a 3 if we have the
option.
The option, I think it's a 3 if we have the insects to Digivolve into.
Also true. Obviously,
the reducing cost is the strongest part about this card.
Yeah, obviously, if you don't have an insect top end level 6, then this card loses all its value pretty much. So
yeah, 3 is a good number.
Fair enough. And
let's go over this Leomon card. It's probably a 1.
We skipped
to the next one. We did that one, and there's the level 5 Leomon.
Did we? No, we did the level 5. I think we did.
Yeah, we did. No.
Yeah.
We talk about that card.
Okay, I think I might have just clicked it on accident. Okay, so Leomon X.
That one I said it's a 1, and we didn't go over the next one.
Okay. 1, and then Panjayamon X. So also treated as Leomon, and all turns when this Digimon would be deleted in battle, you may play 1 Leomon from this Digimon's sources.
Also 1. Okay.
Okay.
Easy.
Man, you made me read that shit. Okay.
Hey, you gotta go through all the cards.
All right, fair enough. All right. Zamielmon, 2 to Digivolve, 9,000 DP beater, level 5.
Big beat 6, okay, solid.
It's a 3.
3. Not an Insectoid though, for some reason. It looks like a bug.
It's a wizard / big Death Stars. Okay.
That big Death Stars archetype coming in hot.
Yeah, maybe we'll see that. Okay, Fujinmon, so green-black. From hand, it has that same effect. I'm not going to read it again. And then when Digivolving, trash 1 card with Machine or Cyborg and its traits from your hand. Suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Inheritable, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 DP or less on attack. And then that Digimon cannot be unsuspended during your opponent's next unsuspend phase.
I'll give this one a 2. It seems the best of all of them.
Okay.
That's my read on it. Is the other ones are whatever. This one's better just because suspending a Digimon's very generically a good way to kill things.
Okay, sure. Grandis. Okay, so when Digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Then, if this Digimon is attacking, you may switch the target of the attack to one of your opponent's suspended Digimon. And then your turn, plus 4,000 DP. So, in theory, when Digivolving, you can just attack over any of your opponent's 15,000 or less Digimon and just kill it. And then end of attack if you have X antibody option in your sources or Grand Kawaga, but that's not going to come up. Suspend one of your opponent's Digimon and unsuspend this Digimon. So in theory, you can just like attack twice if you have the X antibody.
And kill almost anything. It's good if we can play it for the reduced cost.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's hard to play 4 without passing turn.
That's true.
So if we have the X antibody option, which is just Digivolve on attack, or have the Akumon X antibody, this is a 4. Otherwise, it's like a 2. So it's like very dependent on stuff.
I still think being able to just attack any of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon and kill it is at least a 3 effect, even if it's 4.
It's a 3 just because it's hard to Digivolve for 4 and not lose your turn.
I guess you do need the X antibody option because you need to be attacking when you Digivolve in order for it to retarget.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it needs the X antibody option where the other ones kind of have something they do without it.
Alright, that's reasonable. That's Raijin.
But if you do have the option, it's like the best one.
Yeah.
So it's very swingy.
Moving on to Dino Tigermon. When attacking, if this Digimon has a card with Leomon in its name or X antibody option in its sources, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers. Your turn once per turn. When an opponent's Digimon or Tamer becomes suspended, you may unsuspend this Digimon.
It kind of whatever.
It's a rare. It's a rare.
It is rare, but it's so hard.
Yeah.
Hard to for it to actually have an effect at 4 cost.
Yeah, I mean, there's a world where this is like one of the only level 6s you pulled and you're forced to play it.
That's true.
I guess.
I still think it's 1.
1. All right.
That said, we're about to get rookie rush because there's another 2-cost vanilla rookie.
Bearmon, and the art is kind of sick. That's a 4.
That's sick art.
Alright, Dorumon on play. By trashing 1 card with X antibody and its traits in your hand, draw 2. There's a lot of X antibody traits, so this is kind of just...
I think it's a 4.
Yeah,
same. It's very generic. Discard 1, draw 2.
Nice hand cycle. Yep, I agree. 4. Tapirmon. All turns inheritable. If this Digimon has 2 or more colors, it gets plus 1000 DP. There's a decent amount of 2-color Digimon, and just buffing them...
Solid 3 or 2 or 3.
I'll give it a 3.
I know there's an option that works with Tapirmon, or a Tamer that works with Tapirmon, so it makes it better.
Grizzlymon, 1 to Digivolve level 4, 5000 DP.
In this format, 4.
Agreed. Monochromon, we have our blocker here. 6000 DP blocker, and when attacking, lose 3 memory. Instead of 2, like the other blockers, but this is dual color, so I guess that's the trade-off.
We have very limited access to blockers. I think it actually might be like a 3 or a 4 because it's harder to trigger the things that stop blockers without the constructed cards.
Yeah. All right. Shout out to Blue Wise for raiding with 5 people. What's up, man? What's up, everyone? We're doing the BT9 pre-release set review. So if you guys are going to the pre-release tournament, we're doing a review of the constructed format and which cards would be good in that. All right. So we're about halfway through the set right now. Just gave Monochromon a 3?
3 or 4.
3 or 4? 3?
I would say 3 and 3 since you're on 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I think just generic only blocker in this set I've seen so far, and I think that's kind of good in this kind of format.
Heck yeah. All right. Moving on to Raptordramon. End of attack. If this Digimon has Alphamon in its name, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 5 or less. That's the inheritable. If you draft into Alphamons, I guess this card has value.
So it's easier to pull than previously, so it could come up.
And on its own, 6000 DP, 2 to Digivolve level 4. That's about standard for what we've seen in the set, so yeah. I think it's probably a 3.
Okay, 3 is fine. 2, it's like a 1 if you don't have Alphamon.
That's true, yeah.
If you have it, it's a 3.
Alright, maybe we'll split the difference and we'll call it a 2, I guess.
Yep.
Alright. Loader Learmon. So level 5, 2 to Digivolve, 7000 DP. There's bigger beat sticks for pretty much the same cost at level 5, so yeah. I think this is a 1.
Yeah. And like a lot of the other things are... Alright, 2 to Digivolve is kind of nice though. So it goes with 2. 2 for 2 to Digivolve.
Alright, that's fair. I'll allow it. Grademon, 3 to Digivolve, 8000 DP. He's an X antibody, and when Digivolving, reveal top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with Alphamon and its name among them to your hand, and place 1 card with X antibody and its traits among them under this Digimon as its bottom source. Trash the remaining cards, and inheritable end of attack. If this Digimon has Alphamon in its name, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 5 or less. I feel it. If you draft into Alphamons, you definitely play this card.
Go to one of the cards that's like a level 4 that needs 2 of a something, like the War Greymon, the Greymon or the Garurumon.
Okay.
It might be able to trigger that with other level 4s, but I have to see what the word is.
So let's try Guru X.
Yeah, Guru X.
So when this Digimon with Garurumon or Omnimon in its name would be deleted by battle, you may trash 2 cards with the same level in the Digimon's Digivolution cards to prevent that deletion. So 2 cards at the same level.
Yeah, so it doesn't have to matter the names. I think this card might be really good because it could trigger those effects that are harder to trigger.
Yeah.
Like, some of those effects are really hard to trigger, and this one kind of bypasses that a little bit. And also has a decent effect without that.
Yep.
So I think it might be a 4.
4.
Greymon? Maybe 3 or 4.
Interesting. I still think I don't value cards that require other cards as high as like standalone cards.
That's true.
So maybe I think it's a 3. It's a solid 3, I think.
It's a good synergy like enabler.
Yeah, for sure.
And it also can search Alphamon if you have Alphamon in your deck, which is a rare, so it's a good chance you get some.
Moving on to Magdamon. So dual color, black, red, 40 Digivolve, 8000 DP. When Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamer with a play cost of 3 or less. So kill rookies and...
Or kill a certain Tamer.
Kill Cool Boy.
I think there's also a black Tamer, it's 3.
Okay. And then inheritable when attacking, if you are Machine or Dragonkin in your traits, delete one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamer with play cost 3 or less. So...
solid, I think it's a 3.
It's a 3, yeah. 8000 DP, the 40 Digivolve, a little tough to swallow.
Yeah, but you get removal with it, so it makes it a little bit better.
That's true.
Yeah.
Alright, 3. Alphamon, here we go. So when Digivolving, place one card with X antibody and its traits from your trash to the bottom of this Digimon's Digivolution cards. Plenty of X antibodies to choose from in the set, so you can throw in some really cool inheritables underneath this guy. And then once per turn, when this Digimon's Digivolution cards increases by effect, Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon.
Solid.
It's a rare.
Definitely very solid, very generic. There's synergy to search it and stuff, so I think it's a 3.
3. Yeah, it's not as powerful as some of the other level 6 bonds we've seen, so for sure 3.
It's only good in its own deck where like it has Alphamon synergy. So.
All right, that's the alt art. Okay.
Alt art.
Yeah. Raijin Mon. Okay, so this is the Gate Guardian, right?
Yeah, place all of them.
Yeah, so on play or when Digivolving, you may place one Fujinmon, Raijinmon, and Sujinmon from your trash at the bottom of this Digimon's Digivolution cards in any order. Gain 1 memory for each card placed. Okay, so let's say you Digivolve. You can also Digivolve this over level 6. That's kind of interesting. So
that's neat.
Yeah, so over a level 5 for 4 memory or over a level 6 for 2 memory. You get this effect to gain some of that memory back, and then when attacking, if the total colors of level 6 cards in this Digimon's Digivolution cards is 3 or more, so you would need at least 2 of the guys, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, this Digimon gets plus 2000 DP until the next time your opponent's turn ends. If it has 4 or more, one of your opponent's Digimon Digivolve 1. I don't know.
1, that's a lot of not for the payoff.
Yeah, I agree. It's so much conditional. The only thing this card kind of has going for it is this: it can Digivolve over a level 6 for 2. So if you really just need to cycle your hand, like maybe. But there are very few level 6s that I would want to place this on top of. So I think it's a 1, yeah, for sure. Moving on to Gaioman. Digivolve 2 from Black War Gray. There's no
Black War Gray.
Yeah, okay. So this card / Digimon is also treated as having Greymon in its name, has security tag +1 and reboot. And then when Digivolving, if this Digimon has a black Digivolution card, one of your opponent's Digimon Digivolve 1. If it has a red source, then you blitz.
I think it's actually a 4.
Okay, so let's see.
It's very generic. It seems very generic.
13,000 DP, 5 to Digivolve, security tag +1 reboot on its own, I think is already pretty strong.
The 5 Digivolve is rough, but you have Blitz.
But you have Blitz. Yes, I agree.
You have Blitz with security tag +1.
And with reboot, so you could just 2 checks and then restand. And
yeah, and then it's not threatened, and it's huge. It's hard to threaten in any way.
Yep. So you do need the red source for the Blitz, but you'll have the red source. I don't think that's
a lot of red source and black source.
Yeah, and especially in pre-release format where you can just like rainbow Digivolve, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah. It's a 4. I agree. Gaioman 4. All right, moving on to Pogumon. So 5 Digivolve, 13,000 DP. When Digivolving, unsuspend up to 2 Digimon and or Tamers. Then for each of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon and Tamers, gain 1 memory. End of your turn, once per turn. For every 2 of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon and or Tamers, trash the top card of their security stack.
Also a 4. This seems really good.
Yeah, in a sealed format, yeah.
If they have any amount of Digimon, it becomes cheaper. It's huge. It guarantees an extra damage.
Yeah, your opponent is forced to deal with this on their turn. Otherwise, they're gonna like just trash cards from their security.
You can unsuspend other stuff on your field if it's still your turn. Like this is really, really, really good pre-release.
Yep. Bomb. All right, moving on to purple. Gramon X. Digivolve 0 from Gazi, not gonna happen. When Digivolving, not gonna happen. So it's a vanilla. 3000 DP vanilla.
Yeah. There's so many other better vanilla.
Yeah, actually true.
There's almost a 2-cost vanilla for every color in this set. It's gonna be hard to compete with stuff like that.
Actually true. All right, Drakmon, on play, reveal 3 cards from top of your deck. Add 1 card with undead or dark animal in its traits to your hand, and trash 1 card with undead or dark animal in its traits. Return rest to the bottom of your deck. And inheritable, this Digimon may Digivolve into 1 Digimon with undead or dark animal in its traits from your trash by playing its cost when attacking.
If you pull out of the purple, this is a 4. If you don't pull out of the purple, it does nothing.
Okay, we'll call it a 3 then, because it's situational.
Yeah. I think all the purple cards are situational with each other, but they're good with each other.
Oh, actually, this might be a 2 just because it's 1000 DP, and that's really tough, especially in security. Like,
yeah, but it also is a searcher, and it gives you the ability to toolbox from your trash. So,
okay,
you can put.
All right, the searcher sold me. It's a 3. All right, moving on. Salamon, on play for 3 cost. Reveal top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 2-color purple card among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order.
So we've seen I know there's 2-color purple cards below. I don't know
yeah. No, I don't know. I don't think there was any yellow. No. Nope. Yeah, so it's just the purple yellow cards down here. The Magdamon and Magdamon stuff.
Yes.
So,
I mean, it can search stuff.
Yeah.
So.
If you draft heavy into purple yellow, then sure. Salamon is a 3, I guess.
I think it's less generic, so I can give it a 2. But...
Okay, that's fair. Sangloopmon. Jesus, what a name.
I can't say that.
5 play costs.
Congratulations.
2 to Digivolve, 5000 DP. Inheritable when attacking, you can Digivolve this Digimon into 1 Digimon with undead or dark animal in its traits from your trash for Digivolve. So the same inheritable as Drakmon,
but less generic because it's not searcher.
Yep. 2.
2.
Okay, Magdamon. So this is the purple yellow dual color security effect. At the end of the battle, play this card without paying its memory cost. I think that's already pretty good. And then inheritable on deletion. If this Digimon has 2 more colors, gain 2 memory. I think this is a 3. Maybe even a 4.
Yeah, 3. It depends on how many 2-color cards you draft, but there's also a lot of 2-color cards. It seems pretty strong.
Yeah, just
also,
no, go ahead.
Being a security bomb is nice.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. All right, we'll go 3. Dextoru Gora. Okay, so when Digivolving, you may trash 1 card with Dex in its name or with X antibody in its traits in your hand to gain 1 memory. So there are cards that fulfill that requirement in the set. And then when Digivolving, if this Digimon has Darugumon in its Digivolution cards or Digivolved from the trash, 1 of your Digimon gets blocker or retaliation. So this is an undead type card. So
the undead is nice, but I think this is kind of a win. It seems like a bunch of words that say I'm a 2-cost vanilla to Digivolve vanilla.
Yeah.
It's really good and constructed because you have the cards at once, but you're not going to trigger it otherwise.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, is there a world where... I guess there's a world where you could go Sangloopmon or just anything over Drakmon, right? To get this inheritable. Swing Digivolve into Dextoru from your trash.
Yeah, but then it's still 2 to Digivolve.
Oh. Okay, it's still 2 to Digivolve. So you 2 Digivolve it, right?
Now you get the block on retaliation.
Block and retaliate, but you're suspended, and then you Digivolve into a Weregarurumon that lets you unsuspend yourself, and then you block a retal. Huh?
I think you're living in the synergy land that you said is bad, so I think it's a 1.
It's a 1. Yeah. Okay.
Make
Crackmon, vicious mode. Okay. On play, when Digivolving, you may trash 1 card in your hand. If a purple card is trashed this way, delete 1 of your opponent's level 3 Digimon. If a yellow card is trashed this way, 1 of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3000 DP for the turn. So either way, you're pretty much deleting a rookie.
Yeah, it is, but let's you be selective about the rookie, or if it's
just a minus
or
DP
with a minus DP
to run over something. Yep, and then inheritable on deletion. If this Digimon has 2 or more colors, gain 2 memory, and it gets this effect on play or when digivolving. 6 play costs 6,000 DP. That's fair. So, and then 4 to digivolve though, kind of tough to swallow.
Yeah, I think it's a 3 though. It's pretty flexible in that it's always removal, and then if you digivolve over it, you could sort of get refunded on the cost you played for it.
Yeah, and there's definitely a world where your opponent just like hard slams a rookie and gives you 3 memory, and then you can just hard slam this, kill the rookie, and just pass them back 3 memory. So
yeah,
it's high tempo play for level 5.
Yeah.
It's a 3.
Yeah, yeah. There's also a role where you get the full stack and you just gain 4 memory on deletion, which is nice.
Very true. All right, Magdamon. Okay, 7 play cost, 3 to digivolve, 7,000 DP. When attacking, you may trash 1 card with Undead or Dark Animal in its traits in your hand to have this Digimon get plus 3,000 DP for the turn, so potential 10,000 DP beater. Your turn, when this Digimon would digivolve into a Digimon card from your trash, reduce the digivolution cost by 1.
One of the biggest beaters, if you hit the synergy to digivolve, it seems really good. But otherwise, it's kind of just solid. So I think it's a 3.
3? Okay.
I think it's solid with its synergy as a beat stick, but it's like not always gonna. You're not gonna always want to be a beat stick for 3 memory. That's not like a lot of things it's doing. But if you hit the synergy, it's like suddenly becomes a great card.
Yeah. All right. We'll go.
I don't know if you disagree.
I don't know. Just on its own, it's a 7,000 attacker.
It does have the trash specifically on Dead or Dark Animal.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah, we can bump it to a 2.
I think it's
but
a
it's
2.
really good with the synergy.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Dextoru Greymon. When digivolving, you may trash 1 card with Dex in its name or X antibody in its traits in your hand to gain a memory. And when digivolving, also, if this Digimon has Doru Grey in its sources, or when digivolving from the trash, it is an undead. Delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon.
So much synergy needed.
Yeah, like I feel like the purple color, just you need to draft so much purple to make these cards like useful.
Yeah, except with the exception of like the Magdamon stuff.
Yeah, that's a little more generic. I agree, but like the undead, dark animal stuff.
It's a little wonky.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is probably a 2. All right. Grand Drakmon. When digivolving, so 40 digivolve, 12,000 DP, you may play 1 level 3 purple Digimon card from your trash without paying its memory cost. Okay, so that's not bad.
Generically good.
Yeah, and then end of attack, once per turn, you may digivolve 1 of your other Digimon into a Digimon card with Undead or Dark Animal in its traits from your trash without paying its memory cost. So this is the Dark Animal / Undead boss card, pretty much, right?
Yeah. Yeah. In sealed, it's okay, but the free body is still nice, though. So
yeah, so
like the fact that you just get 2 bodies when you digivolve it is sort of good, but it doesn't have to be a purple level 3.
Yeah, so it is a rare, and I would much rather play this one over some of the other level 6s in the set, like the Gate Guardian shit. Like
yeah, but you do need a lot of purple rookies to make this effect do anything.
I still think it's at least a 2.
I think a 2 is the solid number for it. It's good. It's good with synergy, but it's really hard to get synergy.
Yep. Okay, moving on to Raguelmon. Okay, on play, so 12 play cost. Play 1 purple or yellow Digimon with 6,000 DP or less from your trash without paying its memory cost. If your security stack has 1 or fewer cards, you may play 1 level 6 or lower Digimon card with Angel or Fallen Angel in its traits from your trash without paying its memory cost instead. So this is kind of like Flame Hell Scythe on a body, but worse, I guess.
It is worse, and I don't think we have a level 6 Angel to grab this set.
Okay.
Like I think.
Oh,
I don't think its synergy cards are in the set, except. So
you can still play a purple or yellow with 6,000 DP or less from your trash,
and then we have a really good one to play in the vicious mode.
Vicious mode, yep.
But I don't. Other than that, I don't think there's anything we'd want with this card.
Yep. And then end of your turn, you may DNA Digivolve with one of your Digimon into Ordinimon, which is the thing you would be going into. So
Yeah.
if you pull that card and this card, then maybe you can do something where like you just hard slam another purple or yellow card and just
Yeah.
yeah. It's a 2, 3.
2. I want to put it above a 2.
Yeah. All right. Dextoru Goramon. When Digivolving, if this Digimon has Doru Goramon in its Digivolution cards, or when Digivolving from the trash, delete all of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level. On deletion, you may play a level 3 purple or black Digimon from your trash without paying its play cost. If you have 5 or more cards with Dex in their names in your trash, you may instead play one Dexmon from your trash without playing its play cost.
Too much synergy, but that's a synergy, and I need synergy, so it does not work in draft.
Yep. It's a 1. That's a 5 to Digivolve on its own. It's really tough.
Yeah, we don't have the Dorgamon.
Yep, really tough. All right. Okay, so Ordinimon, I don't know. So this is a level 7. Digivolve over a level 6 for 6 memory. You can DNA Digivolve it with a purple plus yellow level 6 for 0 cost. And then when Digivolving, so when DNA oh shoot. Oh, Ordinimon is what we're talking about. Okay, so
yeah,
the when Digivolving is only when DNA. So
yeah, and because of that, I think it's a 1.
Yeah.
It's too hard to trigger.
If
you do, you get to win the game though. But
and then the on deletion is generic. You may trash a top card of your security stack to play this card without paying its memory costs. So it's a bit of a floater, and it's a level 7, 50,000 DP.
Yeah, it could be a 2 if we can hit it, but it's so hard to trigger its effect.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just a vanilla that we Digivolved for.
Okay. Yeah, all right. I'm down for it too. Omnimon Merciful Mode. So when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon for each card with Mega in its traits in this Digimon's Digivolution cards. Then return 10 cards in your opponent's trash to the bottom of their deck in any order. Start of your turn. Trash the top card of this Digimon. If you did, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. So I actually lied when we talked about Agu X and Gabu X when I said there's no Omnis in this set, because clearly there is one.
Yeah.
I think
it's not bad for pre-release.
It's not bad. I agree.
Delete something. It could possibly delete multiple things if you somehow put multiple megas in the sack.
And
it trashes the card and dies.
Yep.
And it's going to die your turn, so
it's a 3.
Yeah, 3. Really pretty solid level 7.
Yep. Alright, so that's it for Digimon, except for the secret rares, and then we'll go on to Tamers. There's a lot of them. Tai and Kari, red, yellow, start of your turn. If you have 3 or fewer security cards, gain 1 memory. If your opponent has 3 or fewer security cards, gain 1 memory. Well, your turn. When your red or yellow Digimon attacks, you may suspend this Tamer to give all your opponent's security Digimon minus 2,000 DP for the turn. So essentially plus 2,000 DP to your guy.
To all your guys.
To all your guys. True.
Pretty solid. It's very easy to trigger the gain memory effects.
I agree.
3?
I agree.
4. I think
3.
3 might be.
I think 3.
Yeah.
Bloop. All right. Matt and Sora, blue, red. If you have 8 more cards in your hand, gain 1 memory. If your opponent has 8 more cards in their hand, gain 1 memory. Your turn. When your blue or red Digimon becomes unsuspended, you may suspend this Tamer to return one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon to its owner's hand. I think this is also in the 3 range.
I think it's slightly more situational, but maybe still in the 3 range.
Okay. And we also have to consider the options that are available. So they both enable red options, but Tai and Kari enable yellow, and Matt and Sora enable blue.
Okay.
So we'll consider that, but for now,
yeah, we might have to revisit them just right now.
Yeah. We'll do 3 and then we'll fix it. Okay. Kiyoshiro Higashimiyatarai. Okay, holy moly, that's the last name. Okay, so if you have 2 or less memories, set your memory to 3.
Memory Tamer.
Memory Tamer. So this is already, in my opinion, better than the dual Tamers.
Yep.
Except for the fact there's only one color. But in terms of just memory gain, this one's better. When you attack with a Digimon with Jellymon in its name, so there's 2 of them in the set, or is level 5 or higher, if you have 7 or less cards in your hand, you may suspend this Tamer to draw 1. I think this is a really good Tamer for sealed.
Yeah, I think it's a 4, and
Yeah.
I think its existence actually makes the other one a 3.
Okay.
Because it makes both players are likely to have more cards in their hand if they're both playing this Tamer.
That's true. All right. Very good. Moving on to TK and Izzy, yellow-green dual Tamer. Start of your main phase, if you have a level 5 or higher Digimon, gain 1 memory. If your opponent has a level 5 or higher Digimon, gain 1 memory. Your turn, when one of your yellow or green Digimon digivolves, you may suspend this Tamer to have one of your opponent's Digimon get minus 1000 DP till the end of your opponent's next turn. I think this is the most situational one so far.
Yeah, it's this one's definitely a 2.
Yep. All right, moving on. Blue-green dual Tamer, joining the ranks of Davis and Ken. Start of your turn, if you have a suspended Digimon, gain 1 memory. If your opponent has a suspended Digimon, gain 1 memory. All turns, when your green or blue Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle and survives, you may suspend this Tamer to draw 1.
I think it's really hard to trigger the double memory gain, but it's
Yeah.
really easy to trigger one of the memory gains.
Yeah, and the draw 1 for attacking over something, it is tied to blue or green Digimon, but there's some good blue and green Digimon in this set, so
Yeah.
I think it's a 3.
Yeah, we'll give it a 3.
Okay.
It's the weakest of the 3s, but not quite the 2.
Okay, talking about Daigo Nishijima. All turns, when an opponent's Digimon becomes unsuspended in a main phase, you may suspend this Tamer to gain 1 memory. So that's pretty interesting. There's definitely some unsuspend effects in this set, so
Yeah.
you could punish with this. And then your turn, when one of your opponent's Digimon... No, sorry. When one of your Digimon digivolves into a black level 6 Digimon, it gains blocker until the end of your opponent's next turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's nice giving things blocker, but it has to be on your black cards, and I don't know if the black cards were super premium except for like 1.
It's a 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Maki Himekawa, on play, reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck. Add 1 Tapirmon and 1 2-colored card with black from among them to your hand. Return the remaining cards to the bottom of your deck. And then your turn, when this Digimon digivolves into a Digimon that has 2 or more colors, including black, you may suspend this Tamer to reduce the memory cost of the Digivolution by 1.
Okay, I think we gotta look at the 2-color black Digimon again, because if there's enough, this is pretty good.
Alright, let's see.
It's a searcher, and it... all the Dexmon cards that were bad.
Yep, all the Dexes. Gaioman, Monochromon, Megadramon.
Monochromon's good because it's a blocker.
Yeah, Fujinmon.
Meh.
Dark Starmon, Dark Superstarmon. Let's go.
Vanilla.
Let's go. Sujinmon. So all the Gate Guardians are part black, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And that was it.
I think there was enough good cards where this is a 3.
Okay. I'm inclined to agree. 3. Mako Mochizuki, on play, reveal top 3 cards of your deck and 1 purple or yellow Digimon card among them to your hand. Trash remaining. All turns, when you play a 2-colored purple and yellow Digimon, you may suspend this Tamer to gain 1 memory. I mean, I think if you're a Magdamon player, then this card's pretty good, but in sealed, I don't see the value.
Yeah. It's a 1 unless you just draft a ton of the Maycrack line.
Okay. We'll give it a 1. Cool Boy. Top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 Digimon card with X antibody in its traits and 1 option card with X antibody in its traits to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. There's a lot of targets for this card in this set. It's a 2 play cost. The your turn effect, I don't think you will ever get that off, right? I think we talked about that.
Yeah, and you never get that off, but it does search a lot. It's kind of like just a generic searcher, and that might be good enough.
I think I'm torn between 2 and 3. If you could get the second part off, I would give it a 4. But
if the X antibody option is common, I think this is a 4.
Okay, and there are other cards. There are other option cards that are X antibody, I think.
Okay,
But
I thought there was only 1.
Okay, we'll look. I think there is, if I remember correctly. But okay, we'll move on. So
we'll make sure to pay attention to that.
Yeah. So that was all the options, and we're moving on to, all the Tamers, and then we move on to options. Yes. Okay, Flare Rock Soul. Play cost 3, red. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 DP or less. Then one of your Digimon may Digivolve into one Digimon card with Shoutmon in its name in your hand for its Digivolution cost. Notably, this works with Omni Shoutmon, who can then Blitz.
Mm-hmm. You would pay a lot of memory for it, but...
Yes. So it would be an 8 memory play, if I believe... Oh, no, sorry.
Yeah.
6 memory play.
Yeah. Solid as a removal card.
5,000 DP is okay. And then let's look at the security effect. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 DP or less.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'm not mad about it. It's not...
It's a 2.
2. Yeah, I agree. Atomic Megalo Blaster. Okay, so this is the better Atomic Blaster I was talking about. So, play cost 6, red. Choose any number of your opponent's Digimon whose total DP adds up to 10,000 DP or less and delete them. Security effect is the same. I think this is a pretty solid 4 if you have a lot of red.
If you have red, this is a 4.
Yeah. And it's definitely a bomb in security. Alright. Let's see. Let's take a quick question from the chat. So let's see. We have Leonako. If you had to get rid of your favorite engine in the game, i.e. the core cards get banned to get rid of your most hated engine, would you take that trade? No.
No, they already nerfed my favorite engine. So.
Yeah, and shout out to Digital Hazard for the raid. Much appreciated, my guy. No, I wouldn't, and I'll tell you why. Because I have more fun playing my deck than I have not fun playing against decks I hate, if that makes any sense. Right? So probably my most hated deck, I don't even know if there's a deck I really hate. I don't know. Let's say I don't like playing against Security Control, right? I would rather run into Security Control every now and then than have to give up playing Green Hybrid, right? Because I play Green Hybrid a lot. And then if I had to give that up to just occasionally not play against Security Control, like that wouldn't be a worthwhile trade.
Yeah. I love the decks I play, and I feel like I can outplay. There's no deck I hate in this game except for like, I'd say my least favorite deck is like Ancient Greymon OTK or decks like that. I don't like, which is going to be a lot of this format, unfortunately. But it's decks that just build up in the stack uninteractively, come out and just swing at you and you lose. I'm not a fan of that, but I love the decks that make me think. And there's not that many in this game, so it'd make me sad if those go.
Yep. All right.
I already am sad that Lilithloop is a very weak deck.
Yes.
I'm a infamous looper.
Very true. All right. So he says that he would get rid of his Ancient Greymon deck to get rid of Yellow Hybrid. All right. Fair enough. Honestly, I think Ancient Greymon has a pretty solid matchup in the Yellow Hybrid, though.
Yeah, don't they just smack them?
Yeah. Yeah, man. All right. Fair enough, though. Thank you for the question, man. I appreciate it.
Interesting thought.
Yeah. We'll get back to the set reviews. So moving on to Gaia Force Zero. When this card would be used, if you have a Digimon with X antibody in its Digivolution cards, reduce the memory cost of this card by 2. So there's a lot of those, obviously. So this is a 6 play cost, essentially. Main, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 13,000 DP or less. Then one of your Digimon with Gramon in its name may attack a player. And then the security effect is delete one of your opponent's Digimon. So it's just Gaia Force.
Yeah, I think it's a solid 3.
Yep.
One stack removal isn't the most valuable in pre-release just because there's a lot of like not insane stacks, but it's still good. Generic removal is good.
Yeah, I agree.
And 6 cost removal is really good.
Yep. All right, moving on to BB Thunder. So moving on to blue options. Return one of your opponent's level 4 lower Digimon to its owner's hand. Then, if you have a Digimon in play with Jellymon in its name or with Jellymon in its sources, return one of your opponent's Tamers to its owner's hand. Okay, so just looking at just the generic effect, play cost 4 to return one of your opponent's level 4 lower Digimon back to their hand. I think that's really meh.
It's very overstated, it seems like, or overcosted.
Yes, if you run into a situation where you have a Jellymon out and you can bounce back a Tamer, that can be useful, I guess.
Yeah, it's
I don't
very
know.
mad to me. I'll give it a 1.
Yeah, for
not a reason to tech blue.
Yeah, for a sealed format, I think this is a 1. I agree.
Yeah, options are really hard to trigger sometimes in sealed.
Yep.
It's easier to trigger because there's more dual color this set, but still.
Okay, let's go to Metal Storm. Play cost 7 blue. If you would use this card and you have X antibody in your sources, reduce the cost by 2, so it's 5 play cost if you have X antibody. Main, return one of your opponent's level 6 or lower Digimon to their hand. Then unsuspend one of your Digimon with Garurumon in its name. So this is kind of like a V-Wing Blade, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, it's solid. Slightly less good than the Gaia Force, but probably the same tier.
Security, activate this main effect. I think it is slightly worse than Gaia Force. I'm inclined to agree.
But I don't think it's a 2. I think it's still a 3.
I think it's still a 3. Yeah, I think we're on the same page on that one. All right, moving on to Awakening of Gold Digizoid. If you have a Digimon with armor form in its traits, you may use this card ignoring its color options. Sorry. And then, so play cost 3. Main, one of your Digimon with armor form in its traits. So there's 2 armor forms in the set, Pegasusmon and Nefertaemon.
They're both yellow.
They're both yellow, so but it doesn't matter because they're armor form. So you may Digivolve into a Digimon card with Magdamon, so Magdamon X, in its name in your hand, ignoring its Digivolution requirements without paying its memory costs. The Digimon Digivolved with this effect can't have its DP reduced by your opponent's card effects until the next time your opponent's turn ends. Security effect, return one card with Magdamon in its name from your trash to your hand and add this card to your hand. If you draft Magna X, I think this card has value.
I think it's a 1, and then it's like a 3 with Magna X possibly.
Yes, I agree.
Magna X, but you also need the other armor, so it's like it's so situational how many pieces you need. But
yep,
if you draft those things, it shoots up a lot.
All right, we'll split the difference and call it a 2, but it is very situational on if you draft Magna X or not, and the armors.
Magna X and the armors.
And the armors.
Both.
Okay, yes, correct. Sunrise Buster, red yellow option. So the thing about dual color options in sealed format, you need both colors active on your board in order to use them. So that makes these cards really tough to use. Play cost 5, main effect, you may play one red or yellow Tamer card from your hand without paying its memory cost. Then one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3000 DP for each red or yellow Tamer you have in play for the turn. I think the fact that it's a dual color option already puts it 2 or less in my opinion, and then already its effect is kind of meh for 5 cost.
Yeah, it's really situational in draft sealed. Yeah, I'm really excited to play this in constructed though.
Yes, in sealed this is a 1. In constructed this is a godlike card in red yellow hybrid.
It's so good. Yeah. Red yellow hybrid.
Yep. All right, moving on to green options. Grandest Scissor, 4 cost, green. Suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, then unsuspend one of your Digimon with Insectoid in its traits. That Digimon may attack your opponent's Digimon. Security effect, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamer. So in security, it's a defensive card. Main effect, for 4 cost.
It does let you attack while you're using the effect,
That's
so
true.
The 4 cost isn't as bad.
It is it gives you like a pseudo blitz, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a 3.
It's like a 2 because of situational. Insectoid.
Yeah, that's true. All right, 2. Ground Fang, play cost 8. Main, return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon and one of your opponent's suspended Tamers to the bottom of their decks. Security is the same effect.
Hard to trigger, but could be nasty, but it's so hard to trigger.
Yeah, this is definitely a bomb, but it's a situational bomb. So
and it doesn't target something that's not attacking yet.
That's true. I guess it's I don't know, in sealed people kind of have to swing.
They have to swing, but it means you're bot decking stuff that's not
what you want to. That's not what you want to target. Yeah, that's true.
You want to target the things that are going to kill you afterward.
That's true. You can. I guess you can play around this by leaving your best card for last in case they have Crown Fang. All right, it's a 2.
It's like I'd say it's a 1.
You think it's a 1? I don't know.
I think it's too hard to trigger.
Are there Tamers that suspend?
There's some.
The dual tamers and key. Does this one suspend? Yes, this one suspends.
Yes.
I know the dual tamers do, right?
Okay, it might be a 2 then.
Yeah. Bot technique tamer is pretty good. Yeah, alright, 2. 2 for Ground Fang. Moving on to Heavy Machine, Digimon's Advance. Alright, this is, I guess, the Gate Guardian option. Cost 0, black. Main, you may trash one card with Cyborg or Machine in its traits from your hand to have all of your level 6 Digimon with Machine and their traits gain Rush. Wow, okay. I guess that works because those guys have on-play effects, right?
No, they have, like, Digivolve effects.
Okay. Was it not?
This is like a Machine Dramon card, even though it has those guys on it.
Okay, fair enough. And then gain Rush and Blitz for the turn. Okay. And then Security, you may trash one card with Cyborg or Machine and its traits from your hand, then delete one of your opponent's Digimon with play cost less than or equal to trash cards. This is a 1. This is 0, actually. This is 0. Alright.
It's really funny.
Yeah. Kongu. Is this the best option in the set for sealed?
That's 100%.
Yep.
100% the best option. Did you see how many rookies there were in the set that are good?
True. All right. So main effect for play
really
cost
can't
2.
Kill you if you play this.
Yeah. So play cost 2, main effect, black card. Until the next time your opponent's turn ends, your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 7 or less cannot attack players, and cards can't be added to either player's security stack by your opponent's effects. So the heal negation doesn't really come up in the set, but definitely you can attack with play cost 7 or less. This is basically Ice Wall, but better, kind of.
Because they can't attack?
Yeah.
They literally can't even have the option.
Yep. It's probably one of the only 4 options we're gonna see. If you can draft into black, but you know, there's some decent black cards.
Yeah, we had the red 4 option as well.
Yeah, and there's 2 black. There's 2 black tamers as well. Yep. All right.
One of them is kind of good if you have the pieces.
Yep. All right. Moving on to X Evolution for play cost 3 black.
Oh, this is X antibody. It's trait.
Yep. So that could come up for some searcher cards, I believe. If you have a Digimon with X antibody and its traits in play, you may use this card without meeting its color requirements. So that makes this card pretty generic in this set. Main, reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck. One of your Digimon may Digivolve into a card with X antibody and its traits among them without paying its memory cost. Trash the remaining cards, then place 1 card with X antibody and its traits from your trash under one of your Digimon with X antibody and its traits as its bottom Digivolution card. And security effect, reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck, add 1 card with X antibody and its traits among them to your hand, trash the remaining cards. So it's a searcher, I guess, kind of generic.
It's generic. It seems okay. I think it's a 2.
2. All right.
It helps you. It could let you get like those situational pieces together, but you're getting situational pieces together.
Yeah, I guess this is kind of like blue card, but more situational.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. It's a 2. Maybe it might even be a 1, but at least it's generic.
Yeah.
It's not really color restricted.
We'll say it's a 1. It doesn't do a lot unless you have exactly certain situations.
Yeah, you could sack with it. All right, moving on. Digitalize of Soul. Play cost 5 black. Reveal top 3 cards of your deck. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost less than or equal to the play cost of 1 Digimon card with X antibody and its traits among them. Trash the revealed cards, then place 1 card with X antibody and its traits from your trash under one of your Digimon with X antibody and its traits as its bottom Digivolution card. Security main effect. God, these X antibody cards are like a mouthful, dude. But
yeah, this is a sacky card.
Yeah.
It could technically delete anything, but you have to hit.
Yes, sir. I think it's the 1.
I'd give it a 2 just because it can be removal.
Okay. 1.5.
And if you already want to play Congo, it's another black option. So you're like.
Okay, so you're saying like if you're in black because you're running Kongu, then you might as well just run this.
You might be able to run this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I wouldn't run this over. I don't think I would run this over a Digimon. Like let's say like any Digimon.
That's fair.
All right. We'll give it a 1.5 to a 2. All right.
Okay.
Deck Solution. 0 cost option, purple. If you have a Digimon with X antibody and its traits in play, you may play this card without meeting its color requirement. So fairly generic for 0 cost. The effect is main. One of your Digimon can Digivolve into a Digimon from your trash with Dex in its name by paying its memory cost.
One, because the Dex cards were ones.
Okay, that's fair. But what if you pull Dexmon?
Digivolve into a level 7?
Yeah.
For 6?
Yeah.
Already lost?
Yeah, why not? It's in your trash. It's a 1. I'm just kidding. Boom. All right. Metal Impulse. Main. Trash up to 3 cards in your hand. For each card trashed by this effect, Digivolve 1. Okay. And then, let's see. One of your opponent's Digimon... Hold on. Digivolve? One of your opponent's Digimon... Oh god, the translation is weird. Oh, Digivolve 1 on one of your opponent's Digimon. Then delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. But it's a purple-black dual color.
Dual color makes it hard to play, even though it's kind of Ultimate Flare.
Play cost 6. Yeah. It's still... I think it's still 1.
Yeah. Too situational.
Yep. Eye of the Gorgon. Play cost 8. Delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. So this is Trump Sword, I guess. But
yeah, Trump Sword with some other stuff happening.
Yeah, if a Digimon is deleted this way, you may play one purple level 3 Digimon card from your trash without playing its memory cost. That Digimon cannot activate on play effects. So it's Trump Sword
with body
with plus Night Raid. Trump Sword plus Night Raid, and it costs the same as both of them combined because Trump Sword is 6, right?
No, Trump Sword's 7.
And Night Raid's 2.
So.
Okay, so it costs 1 less. This is a 1, right? Maybe a 2.
It is removal, but it's like a 2. So it's like a 2. If you draft a lot of purple rookies, it becomes a little better because killing something and making a body is okay.
That's true. Okay, we'll give it a 2.
And we're in a weaker format.
Yep. All right. Nearing the end, talking about X antibody.
Probably a 4.
Probably a 4, just because of the amount of cards that need this card to use their effect.
Yeah.
So in security, you gain a memory, and then you can add this card to your hand. So that's a pretty decent security effect. And then main, obviously, you can slot it under one of your Digimon as its bottom source. Inheritable effect, all turns. This card can't be trashed. I don't think that ever comes up in this. Not in sealed. And then when attacking, you may Digivolve this Digimon into a Digimon in your hand with X antibody in its traits by paying its Digivolution cost. I think for sure this is a 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the activating everything in the set.
Yep. All right. X program. Play cost 8. If you have a Digimon with Dex in its name, you may use this option without meeting its color requirements. That's already a tough pill to swallow. I guess you could activate this if you have Cool Boy out or Ami Merciful, I guess.
Yeah.
Main, delete one Digimon without X antibody in its traits. If both players have 3 or more Digimon in play total, delete all Digimon without X antibody in their traits instead. And in security, delete one Digimon without X antibody in its traits. I think I'm inclined to give this a 1.
It seems too situational, and there's a lot of cards with X antibody in their traits in the set. But if you find the situation where they don't have it, you're gonna feel real powerful.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a little situational.
Yeah. All right. 1 for X program. All right. Alphamon or Yukin, the one of 2 secret rares in this set. So Digivolve 3 from Alphamon with Orumon in its Digivolution cards. Orumon is not in the set. Okay, so when Digivolving, delete all of your opponent's Digimon with the highest play cost. That's pretty good. And then end of your turn, once per turn, you may return up to 7 non-Digi-Egg cards with X antibody in their traits from the Digimon's Digivolution cards to the bottom of their owner's decks in any order to gain 1 memory for each card return. There's a lot of X antibodies. There's Rainbow Digivolution in sealed, so you can definitely build up a big X antibody trait stack and get your turn back. 16,000 DP, level 7.
Deletion on
Digivolve. Yep, I think it's if you pull it, you play it, unless you want to like save it in your binder.
I will say it might be slightly worse than the other one. That's all.
Slightly worse than Dexmon. Okay, that's fair. But yeah, we'll go ahead and just give it a 4. If you pull it, you play it. Dexmon, same deal. So play cost 20, but that doesn't really matter once you read its effect. 50,000 DP, 6 to Digivolve over a level 6. when you would play this card, reduce the play cost by 3 for each of your opponent's Digimon and Tamers in play. And then on play and when Digivolving, you Digivolve 1 on all of your opponent's Digimon, then delete all of your opponent's Digimon that are level 4 or lower, and then at the end of your opponent's turn, once per turn, delete all of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost. Absolute bomb card. If you pull it, you play it.
The only condition that's hard is that there's like less chance to have a lot of Digimon or Tamers, so it might still cost a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just play this and they don't have removal in their deck, you win the game. You just keep killing everything.
Yep. All right.
Crazy nuts card. Best play. Hopefully you just are a sacker, pull a ton of it, and play it.
Yeah, there's no
and
way.
Also get a lot of money.
If anyone pulls more than one Dexmon in their pre-release packs, I don't know. They already won before they even played the games. So.
They don't even need to play the pre-release.
Yeah, I would just leave. I would open my packs, just leave.
Yeah. That's like the most expensive card in the set too, I think.
Yup. All right, so let's just overview all the cards that we said were good. So, eggs, you're gonna pull what you play in terms of eggs, because you're gonna never pull more than 5 in my experience. But the best ones are definitely Pogumon, the Tokumon X, and the Puyoyomon X, or Puyoyomon regular, I mean.
Yeah. Some cards want you to have X antibody in their trait. So.
Yes. There are a lot of 2 play cost vanilla level 3s in this set, and I think you should load up on as many of those as possible. And
Rookie Rush might be a legit way to win this set.
Yep, there's definitely a real world where someone just runs Rookie Rush in their pre-release packs deck. There's some level 4 beaters, the level 5 X antibodies. Some of them are actually pretty good, especially Shoutmon X. Omni Shout X has Blitz, and then if you have X antibody in your sources, you can attack over an unsuspended Digimon, which is a very good effect in Sealed.
Yeah, and that's not like a once per turn, or that's not like a one turn thing. It's every single turn you can keep doing that.
Yep. All right. Let's see what else. So where Metal Gramon X, just security attack +1, and then if you have X antibody, it becomes 11,000. Yep, very good. The red level 6s, they're all pretty good. War Gramon X is a little more situational than the other 2. Surprisingly, the Dino Rexman card is actually pretty strong. So if you pull this as like a level 6 rare, then definitely consider that.
It makes it hard for them to even. It's really good against the Rookie Rush strategy as well.
Yes, so. Correct. Moving on for blue. Let's see. Metal Garu X is ridiculous.
Yeah, the rest of the blue is like okay, but the level 6 bomb is really strong. Yep,
I agree. Yellow, you have access to armor cards and the Magna X if you manage to pull that combo with the option, the Golden Digizoid. So that could be something.
Yeah. And the Gatomon with the Gatomon Digivolve for 0 is pretty nice.
Yep, this is one of the only ways to get the 2 level 4s, so 2 of the same level stack, which some cards need to like trigger their effects. Yep, that's pretty much it for yellow. For green, they're all kind of meh. They're like really insectoid reliant, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I would say green and purple are kind of, you need to pull a lot of that color.
Yep.
Like for green, you need to pull a lot of green. Purple, you need to pull a lot of purple.
All right. For black, I think black might be worth slotting into more just because Kongu exists. So if you pull like a couple Kongus, then you want to prioritize some black cards for sure.
They also have a lot of good black cards. There's like good vanillas. There's a drawing.
There's a blocker
card. The only blocker.
The only blocker. Yep, which is going to be really valuable considering like the amount of Rookie Rush that could be in the set.
Some removal cards. And some good level 6s.
Yep, good level 6s. Alphamon is good. Gaioman is good, and Gaioman also very good in sealed format. So black is probably the strongest like standalone color in sealed for BT9, I think. Yeah.
Yep. Obviously the colors aren't that important because you're mixing matching, but the black does matter because Kongo is the best option as well. Yep.
Purple, you have to draft a lot of purple, I think, to make this worthwhile because they're all super archetype reliant pretty much. And even the levels. Yeah, go ahead.
The level 4 and 5 are generic enough to put other decks, but everything else is kind of
yeah, Meikumon and Meikrakmon. Yep. And the level 6s aren't really worthwhile for the payoff, I think.
Yeah.
Level
6s.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of level 7s in the set.
Yep, there's 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so for level 7s, Ordinimon is probably the worst one, just because she needs the DNA Digivolve with a purple and yellow level 6. Omnimon Mercenary Mode is pretty generic. I think it's perfectly fine as a bomb for level 7.
They can remove 1 or 2 cards.
Yep. Alphamon or Yukin, and
both the secrets are insane.
Yeah, both the secrets, if you pull them, you play them like automatically, unless you like are like scared of actually like damaging them because you want to sell it, and then in that case,
the only reason you want to play Alphamon is if you somehow pulled like no X antibody cards, which I don't think is happening.
Yeah, that's true. So pretty much every level 7 is worth playing except for Ordinamon, and even then you might just still play it just because it's a 15,000 DP. So whatever. There's a lot of Tamers in the set. They're all fairly decent except for maybe the purple one. That's like the most situational one, but they're all pretty okay. I think the purple and TK and Izzy are probably the worst ones. Everything else is fine.
Oh no, the other black one is kind of
Daigo, yeah, but at least he's black, you know.
Yeah, trigger your Congo.
Yep. All right. For options, there's some pretty decent removal, right? We have Atomic Megalo Blaster and Gaia Force Zero.
Gaia Force Zero. Some of the blue bounce cards.
Metal Storm. Yeah.
Storm's decent.
Grandis Scissor, kind of.
Yeah, Grandis Scissor, kind of.
And Ground Fang, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for sure there's some decent removal. Kongu is the best option in the set and probably like one of the best cards in the set, period. So, and it's a common, so you know, pull as many as play as many as you pull, I think, in my opinion. Or at least 2 or 3. At least 2 or 3.
If you pull black, if you somehow don't pull black, then it becomes a lot worse.
That's true.
Please pull back. This card's crazy.
Yep. All right, and then everything else was kind of meh except for the X antibody option itself, which you want to probably play at least 2 or 3 in your deck just to activate all the cards that require this in their sources.
Yeah, and when Digivolve when attacking could be nice.
Yep. All right, so that wraps up the pre-release. Let's go ahead and put our faces back up just so we can end the video that way. So thanks everyone. We have 12 viewers right now. Wow, that's awesome. So
nice.
All right, thank you FlatScan for following.
Great, but
yeah, it's okay, neither is mine, dude. You got my messy ass room in the background, but we're good. So yeah, BT9 pre-release coming up this weekend. Hope you guys learned something about what cards you should be looking to draft in your draft deck to hopefully win your tournament and get that prize at the end. Yeah, anything else you want to say, Bryce, before we log off?
For pre-release, it looks like the 2 common paths are Rookie Rush or Anti-Rookie Rush. So
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, if you want to win, if you want to win, just pray you pull a lot of rookies and just like pop, 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 pop.
Or pray you pull the cards that beat all the rookies.
Yep. All right. So from me and the boy MBBTCG, go ahead and follow him on YouTube. That'll be it. Good night, everyone. Follow the channel if you haven't already, and GG's.